Hey y'all, Ritz here, playing Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions. We're in one of our first fights. I did have to restart. I'll tell you that from the beginning. I think Taurus is either a good or bad connection with Ramza. She's got solid bravery. Oh, he's good. He's got solid bravery and faith. Most of these we're not going to be using at all, but these are the ones we're going to use for now. Oh, wait a second. I got another spot I can use, so why not? I'm going to be taking more of a full story approach in this playthrough. Oh, I love this music and everything. I'll explain what I mean by that in a moment. What have we here? We Muppets, is it? Our luck went and turned for the better. Alright, lads. Cut through these ones and we're good as fled. We'll make quick work of them, and don't be leaving no squealers behind neither. Don't let any of them get away. So in War of the Lions, they actually changed up the dialogue a little bit to be a little bit more Shakespearean, which I actually like the change, personally. I think it's a very solid presentation of everything here. I think it's a really nice way to have the whole story go through. I want to take a very broad approach to this playthrough. Everyone likes to do playthroughs with zero spoilers, so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to spoil the game completely, basically, as we go through. Every time there's a plot twist, I'm going to basically explain what's behind it. Careful, Ramza. Remember, the well-aimed thrust pierces the mail. Don't patronize me, Delisa. We Bevols know our way around a battlefield. Bevol, was it? Heir to the noble house Bevol, I'd wager? Looks like we have ourselves some apprentices from the academy. Well, highborn Muppets is still a Muppets. Lay down your arms or die clutching them. None will mourn your passing. And you mean to make us do that, then? You're in for far over your little heads. It's actually really true that they don't know what they're in for right now. Ramza's going for this girl up here. I will take 95%. Does she have stone? No, but she does have rush. Sorry, Delita. I'll hook you up in a second. I have 5 potions. Delita! Hurt him to heal him. Yes, I absolutely did. The reason for this is because when you... In most RPGs, let's put it this way. In most RPGs, the way you level up is you go through the battle, and over time you learn abilities and such by leveling up after the battle. You get EXP based on the enemies you fight, and you get EXP after the battle. Here, you get EXP and JP based on... Let's see what he has real fast. Rush. Okay. You get EXP and JP based not on the battle, but based on your actions. So each action you take gives EXP or JP. Dude, I had that covered. Why'd you gotta go and do that? I do appreciate that he finished him off at the same time. Okay. Maybe I should have just killed off Delita. You do get a little bit more experience from killing an enemy than from just hitting them. Going for the chemist. You'll pay for that. So here to here is a difference of 5 height, you can see on the top right. And that will not allow me to hit that guy. I'll come over here. So Chant takes some of my HP and gives it over to my friend. Ta-da! So he gets double what I lose, which is nice. So in general, let's talk about the story behind Final Fantasy Tactics. We have a nation at war. This is a 9? So bad. She's gonna do better. That's so bad for the Squire to have only 9. If you don't move, by the way, your turn comes around faster. So, well, let's talk a little bit about this. You've got your AT here. AT is your action timer, the turn, active turn. So when you move, it takes some of your AT gauge, and when you act, it takes some of your AT gauge. If you do both, it takes up the whole thing, and you have to go back into the turn order as original. If you don't move or you don't act, it's going to actually save that, and your turn's going to come up faster. This will also show you if there's a timed attack, like a charge attack from an archer, a charged up attack like a magic or summons. All of those are going to show up there in their particular time frames. I'm going to present my side in hopes that he goes for that guy instead. Ah, they're aiming for Ramza. So, we are in the nation of Ivalice right here. Ivalice is a nation that used to be at war with its neighboring country. We ended up with a stalemate where basically both countries lost a ton of money, went almost bankrupt, and see, she got her turn before this guy here because he moved and acted. I didn't move, so that's why she got her turn first, even though he actually went first. But now I'm trapping him in. We're going to take out this dude over here because he's basically the healer. So we're going to make sure he goes down. Ah, boo. See, he's trapped. One thing you'll notice also is that we have a higher percentage chance of hitting from the side than we do. Okay, here's where this one comes in handy. There we go. Oh, come on. There. This is one of those examples where, like, their standard move... Okay, there, I could have gotten an actual clear. You have to get used to rotating your map to the point where you're gonna, like, get dizzy because there's no other way to actually see where you're going in this game. She's barely gonna hit. So she's gonna take out this dude. So our nations that were at war now are basically at peace. They're not at peace, but they're no longer at war because they ran out of money. In the end, that's what it is. They ran out of money. So when the two nations stopped fighting, it was... Uh-oh. Ramza gonna die. That's unfortunate. So in this case, if Ramza actually dies, game over. If you wait 3 turns, game over. He's gonna come in. I hope my other guy has... There we go. So basically we just have to finish them off before 3 turns is up. We don't have Phoenix down. So we've got to kill off these other guys before 3 turns are up. I'm not going to be able to... Yeah, we'll heal him. It actually tells you who's an enemy and who's not if you can't see it on the map. Even though our friends are brown-capped and the enemies are green-capped, you can see on top of their little portrait they have an enemy. So, anyway, our nation was basically at war with the neighboring nation for a long time. They ran out of money, and we were no longer able to pay off the soldiers that went to war. And so we ended up with a ton of soldiers that were displeased with the nobility because they were basically shafted. They had no way of feeding their families. Oh, sweet. They had no way of going about their standard needs. So they got stuck with the bill, basically, of the war. And that led to a lot of the fighters of the war going off and becoming like thieves and bandits. Very good. Good for your job level up. Okay. Can I get up there? No. What I can do is attack him. And then move. So all these disenfranchised knights and people went off and became brigands. Some of them started what's called the Corpse Brigade, and that's who we're basically fighting against right now. All of Act 1 is really just a big fight against the Corpse Brigade. I cannot get up there, and I cannot hit him. It's very frustrating that he's actually in a place where I can't reach. So all of our heroes in this entire act are going to be basically fighting the Corpse Brigade, and that's really where our main fight takes place. What they're going to realize, and here's your spoiler alert. I'll put a little skip in the order. What they're going to realize is the Corpse Brigade is not actually the main bad guys, and they're being controlled by others. It's very kind of a Shakespearean story where there's different people who are controlling others, and there's a lot of that. Anyway, you'll see that again and again and again it kind of shifts from one person to another. So we didn't end up losing Ramza completely. He doesn't end up dying because we didn't wait 3 full rounds. Honest work would see them die old in bed, yet they choose instead of this early grave. Why persist in such folly? Ramza is your standard protagonist where he just has the good in mind. He just wants everybody to get along. He just wants the good to prevail. That's really what he wants. Sweet. In the end, that's Ramza to a T all the way through. Basically, whenever you want to move around, all you have to do on the map is tap on that location and you'll move in that direction. Egros Castle is our destination, but we have to first go through Mandalia Plains. But before that, we have a cutscene. Barbeneth Bevol, a great hero in his own right, who had attained the distinguished knight title of Knight Gallant, approaches the hour of his death. This is the Bevol Manse after the 50 Years' War. So this is really a little jump backwards to a little bit before. The Knight Gallant Barbeneth Bevol was one of the heroes of the 50 Years' War. There were 2 major factions in Ivalice, which is the country we're in. There's the North and the South, who have different knights, the Knights of the Northern Sky and the Southern Sky, respectively. Once the whole thing finished, there was a little power vacuum that happened when the king died. So this is the end of the 50 Years' War right here. We're going to get to this in a second. When the king died at the end of the war, the 2 factions, the North and the South, run respectively by different lords. One second. We're going to see them in a minute. They are now vying for power. In particular, one wants to get the princess because he is the uncle of the current prince, who is a young child who cannot rule yet. So in light of the fact that he cannot rule, I, the uncle, will stand in as the ruler until he is fit for rule, and I will be his trusted advisor once he comes to age. So he's going to basically have power for a long time at that point. So he wants to kill off the princess. The other one wants to save the princess, put her in place of the throne. Now the big trick is the princess is not actually the princess by birth. She was an adopted princess. So this is what we're going into after the 50 Years' War. What news of the war? Now, big spoiler alert. He is being poisoned by one of his sons, in particular. Now, the Knight Devout Zalbag Bevol, these are all of Ramza's siblings around the bed. So, Zalbag is another knight. He wants to fight for what's right, and he consistently does that all the way through the story. He does what he thinks is right all the way through the story. The Order has struck a great blow. Limberry is ours once more. Limberry Castle will come back. We'll be there. We will be able to recall our forces in Zeltania anon. All goes as planned, Lord Father. Be not troubled. Now, Lord Dysadarg, is in cahoots with the Lord that's trying to get power, who wants to take over the government, and he actually is poisoning his father. The envoy dispatched to advance Linario has returned. He has agreed to your proposal, Lord Father. Very good, very good. Then the war will die with me. Father. There now, Alma. Do you want my last memory to be of your tears? Where is that Ramza? He should be here by your side. Dysadarg, Zalbog, you are dear to me, but Ramza is no less so. Now, Ramza came from a second marriage type from Barbaneth's non-noble concubine. So Ramza is a combination of nobility and non-nobility, but he's saying now that Ramza is just as dear to him as a son, so he is nobility. Though he may not be the issue of the womb that bore you, my sons, still my blood courses his veins. Watch after him, like we just said. Lord Father, you forget yourself, Ramza. You have come. Good. Let me look upon your face once more. Slightly out of order, but that's okay. Lord Father, how long has it been? You've grown into a fine young man. I would hear of your studies. You've been at the academy since spring, is it? Hear me, Ramza. For generations we Bevols have stood foremost of those who serve the crown. Ours is the soul of the knight. Become a knight worthy of your name. Tolerate no injustice. Stray not from the true path. This speech sticks with Ramza. This is his nature. You know the path you must walk. A Bevol can walk no other. I will not fail you, Father. Your friend Delita, he is a good boy. Oh, sorry, that's not... I thought that was Alma because she moved. Your friend Delita, he's a good boy. He is low-born, but he can serve you well. I've made arrangements for him to enter the academy. You should have seen the look on the headmaster's face. In the years ahead, you will need someone whom you can trust. You could do far worse than Delita. As you say, Father. Take care of your sister. And show those brothers of yours what it is to be a knight. And thus passes one of the heroes of the Great 50 Years' War. That's where we're going to leave it for today. There is a little tidbit in the tavern here, which we're going to read next time. The Corpse Brigade we talked about, but the King Ondaria III is the one. We're going to read this next time. Anyway, have a wonderful day. In case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.